Banded together to say we're not happy about what we see. We feel that there's a viable community that needs to be supported. And I think I can, from what I've seen so far, assume that a good number of us here are also friends of Silver Creek. So thank you. We are associated with the RGRA, which is the Richmond Gardens Ratepayers and Residents Association. Again, a few things about ECC and the Silver Creek Preschool, which they will speak to more later, but 33 years of assisting children and 40 years of serving children, respectively. So our message at the bottom, Silver Creek tenants provide valuable services to our community. I don't think anyone can dispute that. We feel that Silver Creek is a TDSB school, or a Toronto District School Board. Even though it's not necessarily officially a school, it does serve the community. So we also dispute the fact that Silver Creek is operating out of a closed school. It's not a closed school. It is fully utilized and fully occupied. We have waiting lists for both the ECC and Silver Creek. So we just want to point that out, that while we're talking jargon here, the school is fully utilized. Next slide, please. When it comes to population, I guess it's a matter of how you look at it. When we look at StatsCan, there is a growing population in Etobicoke. We're looking at a population of 405,000 in 2020. If you look at StatsCan statistics when it comes to children with disabilities, 3.7% of the population is considered children with disabilities. That's 15,000 children if you compare it to 400,000 residents in Etobicoke. That's a sizable group, and of that, there's one or two viable institutions that are helping all of these kids in Etobicoke. We just want to point that out. So our message, closing Silver Creek, is short-sighted. I know this slide will make everyone's eyes glaze over, but feel free to look at it in your presentation. We took, I think, a few months to try and figure it out ourselves, which is the funding model for both. So you have government at different levels, parents, okay, so you have City of Toronto, Ministry of Child and Youth Services. So Kevin already spoke to the property boundaries. So this red dotted line outlines the park. On the flip side, where you saw the yellow line, is the Silver Creek property. Again, our message here is, are we really prepared to lose 6 acres, right, for the ECC, the preschool, and all the green space, because this is already a community hub. Yes, it is. Okay? You have the services out of Silver Creek. You have the pool, you have the library, you have the tennis courts, you have the park usage itself. It is a community hub. We disagree with that definition. In terms of what is being done by Friends of Silver Creek, there's a fair amount of history, but go to our Facebook page, please, because I don't want to go through it all here. Back in February, everyone is aware that both organizations received notice from the TDSB that first consideration buyers were informed that Silver Creek Public Schools were for sale. We met at the end of March, a residents' meeting, and there was the news that expression of interest, or an initial interest in Silver Creek School property by the Government of Ontario, the MCYS, had been actually put forward. Again, Yvonne spoke to that. The one thing that I also want to point out is this past weekend, there was a petition that was initiated by John Campbell to support and to save Silver Creek. We collected over 1,300 signatures. Thank you. Both on paper and online. A phenomenal showing. So thank you everyone who's involved with that. Again, some progress, but we're not sure if this is enough to stop the sale. So this is another slide where after we had our meetings and conversations and had different working groups, we just felt that there was a lot of finger pointing going around, and in the middle and at the end is the students who are going to lose out. So we said, you know what, TDSB has an issue with the provincial funding formula, that they're not getting the funding that they need. Our question at this point is, in all of that, why has Silver Creek been pushed to the top of the list, right? Obviously there is some agenda to that. The second thing is, for the province, right, there's been a sense of it's a TDSB issue. Yes, there has been expression of interest. However, our question is, the expression of interest could evaporate over which I know Anita will speak to later. And that the TDSB, the province, the city, do all have an interest or benefit from the sale of Silver Creek. So while we're all working together, there is a benefit. So questions need to be asked on that. Next slide, please. This is the final message. What we're saying is that Friends of Silver Creek will hold all elected officials accountable in the next election should this property be sold. We are now going to show a small clip.